My first NP job, I was expected to see between 15 to 20 GI patients a day, and a specialty I knew basically nothing about. The salary I almost accepted was actually less than what I made as a nurse. And at one point, my attending would literally walk away from me while I was still presenting. Literally, down the hall, into another patient's room, because I wasn't giving him the information he needed fast enough. If you're thinking about NP school or about to take your first job, stick around. I'm going to share all the lessons I learned in negotiating my salary, the walking doctor story that changed how I think as a provider, and what I wish every NP knew about their first year. Welcome back to the Nurse Sabbatical, part 4 of my NP series. If you've watched video 1 so far, you know that I talked about, should you really go to NP school? Is that really the thing for you? In video 2, I discussed, does the role that you're thinking about fit the life that you want? In video 3, we highlighted mindset shift from a nurse to a provider as a nurse practitioner. And now today, I want to talk about your first NP job and what it actually could look like. The good, the hard, and the things I wish someone had told me. I had to look for my first job at an NP school and get it within 3 to 6 months of graduating. See, I had received a grant from my master's program that required me to move to New York City and work there for 2 years, but I had to do it within a finite time period. Now, in 2008, jobs looked different. There were job boards, maybe online recruiting, but I decided to go to a job fair. And when I got there, one of the tables that was empty, a woman told me that a job just opened up. I applied, I interviewed, and in the middle of a busy ICU shift, the doctor called to tell me, you know what, we want to hire you. And I said, wait a minute, do you know I only know about Miralax and Zantac? And then she told me the best next phrase, we will teach you. And in a minute, I'll tell you the exact moment I realized I had to negotiate for my salary and what I would definitely say you do when you're looking at negotiating. But my first lesson is, when you're looking at the job, look at the entire role, including the salary. So I told you, the doctor offered me the position, they sent the offer letter over, and it was significantly lower than my current salary as a nurse. And I know many NPs experience this. But then I had to think about it. I was gonna work 9 to 5, no weekends, no holidays. It would give me flexibility to do things. I ended up taking a Spanish class for medical professionals, teaching NCLEX students just because I had the flexibility, even though I may not have had the salary initially. So what did I do? I advocated for myself. I literally emailed the employer and told them that the salary pay was definitely lower than I was making as an RN. And with moving to New York City, there's no way I could work for that amount of money, even though I was close to my deadline of having to find a job. And you know what? They met the number. My lesson 2 here is make sure you advocate for yourself. So just as much as think about the entire package, make sure that you're advocating for yourself. What will make you comfortably cover your expenses, your learning, the life you want to build. And here's the part that many people don't talk about when you're transitioning. You see, I went from working in inpatient pediatric critical care to outpatient GI. The patient load could be from 15 patients to 20 patients. In a small community hospital practice, there were 3 physicians, 1 secretary, and myself. No fellowship, no structured orientation, and I knew almost nothing about GI. And now there are fellowships that really can help you with that transition, but some hospitals or in your community may not have it. And the steepest learning curve that I learned was when I was working with a particular physician and how he operated. Picture this. I start presenting the patient to the physician. He stands up, walks into the room, and just starts asking the patient the same questions I'm trying to explain. I realized I wasn't giving him the information quick enough, so I tried another method. As I started talking, he would get up. I would keep talking just faster behind him into the room, and he would still ask the patient the same questions. I was getting frustrated because I was missing something, but he couldn't tell me exactly what I was missing. Now, about 6 months into the role, one day, I'm presenting the patient again, but this time I finished presenting before he even stood up. I follow him into the room. He looks at the chart with the note and looks back at me and says, "You finally got it." And in that moment, I realized there was a process that had to be learned from nursing to NP school to the actual role. And it wasn't just mindset shift. It was that I actually knew what I was doing at that point. So my third lesson in this video, give yourself grace. The first year as an NP is hard. You will question yourself. You will doubt yourself. You will feel like you know nothing. And that's normal. You see, I had transitioned from a hospital that had lots of support, social workers, case managers, a full team. And now I was a solo NP in the practice. No nurse, no case manager, no social worker. It was all me. But in those moments, I also got to know my patients deeply. And that was the real beauty of it. The not so good part was having to do prior authorizations for formulas and medications. But that was also part of the work. And about 1 to 2 years later, while I was in that role, something changed. I became the go-to person. Staff would come to me, patients called and asked for me particularly. I knew the system, I knew the families, and I realized I just wasn't another NP filling a role. I was making a difference for the patients, for their parents, and for the department. And honestly, that felt truly powerful. The lessons that I wish every new NP knows is number 1, your first NP job is part school and trial by fire. Lesson 2, advocate for the training that you want and mentorship like it's part of your salary. The worst thing to do is to go into a role and not feel supported. Lesson 3, give yourself at least 1 year before deciding if that role fits you. And here's my question to you, for those who are watching. If you're already an NP, what was the hardest part about your first job? And if you're not there yet, what worries you the most about your first NP role? Drop it in the comments. Some of those may become one of my future videos. Your first year as an NP will stretch you. You'll question yourself. You'll doubt yourself. But if you stay curious and advocate for yourself, commit to learning, eventually the thinking clicks. And when it does, the role opens up opportunities in ways you could never expect. If you want more honest conversations about building a nursing career that still leaves room for a real life, subscribe and tell me what you want to see next. Till next time.